Hi, Eric Gibaud, ericgibaud.com, and today, on top of being watched by Molly, hello Molly, hello, I present you my photography tips for July 2021. Let's start. So Molly, that is down here, she's sleeping now. She's the dog of Claudia Reyes. And you can watch her YouTube channel, not Molly's channel, but I mean Claudia Reyes' channel. I'll leave it in the description, okay, and Instagram too. Okay, so why 7 tips this month? Well, basically because for many years I made 5 tips, and I started with 5 tips, and I see every day more and more people doing five tips of the month. So I thought this month I make 7, so maybe next month they try to make 7, they work more, I go back to 5 and work less, okay, but just for fun. Okay, so in North Hemisphere we're starting summer, and in South Hemisphere they are starting winter. So there are some things that related to summer, winter. So if you see some tips about climate, all this, well, it's for this reason, because we're getting in a season where people start making more picture. So first tip, if it's really low temperature, your battery will not work as good. So it means they will, I don't know if you call it power, I don't know you call it, but you will see that you make less pictures on a full charge than if it's normal temperature. So in this case, I recommend you keep your batteries close to your body as long as you can, and maybe your shirt or whatever, and at the last minute you place it in the camera, so it's not too cold when you're going to use it, so it will handle more time before draining the battery faster. Okay, and in case it's really hot, this is a lot more risky, because making less picture is not a problem, but when you risk explosion, that's a serious problem. Especially with lithium battery, you have the risk that if they overheat, they explode. So if they are in your car may burn, or if they're on you, you may burn yourself. So it's really important. Make sure they're not too cold, and make sure they're not too hot. Never leave them in your car in a sunny situation, or in your bag placed on a table on the with the sunshine straight on it. It's really important. Take care with that. Well, let's make a small pause right now. If you have not done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a small button down here, and also a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. I'll also leave you a link of my PayPal account in case you wanted to make me a donation. Thank you very much. Let's carry on. Tip number 2. Very often we see people using the cap of your lens, obviously, and it's to protect the lens, and the thing is to protect from scratches, and it is for that. But there's also one reason you should use a cap on your lens. Sun plus magnifying, which is what actually does a lens, equal fire. And many people who've been using a Leica or Leica type M-type camera, they know the problem. All the analog cameras, they know the problem. You would leave your camera without a cap on the table, and then a sun ray would get straight into the lens, and then it will make a hole in the curtain because it was fabrics. But this may happen also if you have plastic or metal shutter. The sun gets in there, it magnifies, it makes really hot, and it may burn. So it's important that obviously when you make pictures, you get the cap off. Obviously you knew that, okay? But if you're not making picture, even if it's on a tripod waiting for a sunset or for an eclipse, it's really important you have the shade, the cap on, because otherwise you may burn the inside of your camera. So don't forget.
While editing, obviously if you have a reflex camera, the sunbeam will not touch directly or burn directly the shutter, but yes, it will overheat the whole camera inside, and it will damage too. So even if you have a reflex camera, you should take care with this. And obviously a mirrorless camera will have a lot of damage too. Okay.
Advice number 3. Very often we want to make seaside pictures, and whether it's winter, summer, obviously if you're a country with a sea, if you're the center of the United States or South America or Africa or Europe, obviously you don't have any sea, okay? But many people, when they have the opportunity, they want to make this kind of picture. And obviously you get some kind of water spray in the air, really thin, and it gets onto your camera. So very often people, when they finish making the picture, they go home and they just clean the front lens and that's it. But salt plus time equal corrosion. It means after maybe a year or 6 months, a few days, doesn't matter, corrosion will eat up your camera. Even the plastic will be damaged, all this. So it's really important that you get a cloth and you get it lightly humid, not wet, lightly humid. And you clean all your camera, everything. I advise you remove the battery first, then you clean everything, and then you leave your camera the full night without any battery in there. So if some kind of humidity would have got into the buttons or whatever, it will dry during the night. So it's really important, not wet, just humid, okay? And then you clean your camera completely with that. Advice number 4, dust or sand plus passing a cloth equal scratching. It's really important. If you have dust or sand on your camera, do not wipe. It's really important, okay? Blow it or vacuum it first. There are some blowers, air pressure, like spray. You go and then you actually blow your camera, or you could vacuum it, but it's really important. So the tip just before, number 3, about cleaning the salty water, if there's also some sand, do the tip 4 first, okay? So it's really important, blow or vacuum first, otherwise you will scratch your camera, your lens, or whatever, the screen, the front lens, or whatever, okay? So blow or vacuum first. Tip number 5, if you can, avoid to change lenses outdoor. If it's windy, there is some dust, there is some sand. Many people, I see them, they go making pictures to the beach and then they get the lens out and they put another one. Go back to your car, and if you cannot go to your car, do it under your jacket. If you really need to change lenses, do it under a jacket or whatever solution you have, or in your bag. First, put the camera downside, so you have the lens at the bottom, so nothing will fall in the camera. It could fly, but at least it won't fall. Because if I see people changing the camera like this, the lens like this, they get the lens out and they put the other one here, and maybe a drop of rain or whatever that falls directly there. So it's very important, do it down this way, okay? And if you can avoid to do it, avoid it, because this is the first reason why you get dust into your camera, because you change lenses in a problematic environment, okay? Now the 3 tips, the 6 and 7, well, 3, they're always all 3, okay? So tip number 6, I know that some people are really against using filter to protect the lenses. They say that it takes away optical quality, but that makes me laugh, because these people who say that, very often they use ND filters to have long exposure photography. So my question is, when it's an ND filter, then it's not an optical problem, or use a polarizer, that's not an optical problem, but then when you put a sky or UV filter, then it's a problem. Obviously the problem is not using a filter, the problem is using a bad filter. So if you use a good quality filter, you don't have to worry about that. There are many brands that are really good, like K&F Concept, cheap, good quality filters. Or you have B plus W, or you have Pro and Tiffany. There are many brands, okay? But obviously if you take a €5 protective filter, it won't be good, okay? So you must pay one that is good. That's simple. So even if you're against filter, there are some situations where you absolutely need, or it is really recommended to use a filter. Many years ago, I was doing a post-wedding session on a beach. It was really windy. It was so windy that I had a short trousers on, and the wind would blow the sand on my legs. It would hurt me, okay? So it was really not nice. And luckily I had a filter on my lens, because when I got home, the filter had a lot of small impacts, like not scratch, but impacts like this, and no way it was usable anymore. If I had not used the filter, then it would be the lens that would be damaged. So even if you are against filter, buy a filter and at least use it in this situation, because you may damage your lens, okay? Tip number 7. Many people contact me asking me when will I do a video explaining how to clean a sensor. And the short answer is this one: never. Why? Well, now I'll give you the explanation why. Luckily, using my Olympus, I never had to clean them for over 5 years because the automatic cleaning system is really good. But it doesn't mean that I will not use it one day. Maybe I need one day to clean it. But when I had Canon, and then even worse, before when I was using Leica M8, I had to clean them about 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, and for me it was a nightmare. Because first, there are many techniques. You have a sticky technique, you have a small brush technique, you have liquids. Take care, not all liquids are compatible to every sensor. Some will eat up the coating of the glass. Yeah, because you never scratch a sensor. There is a glass in front of it. But if you scratch a glass or damage a glass, then you need to change it. It's expensive to change it, okay? So it means that it was really a nightmare. I was really sweaty every time I had to do that. So honestly, if you can afford it, or if you have some technical in your area, bring this to a technician that will fix it. They have the proper gear to blow the dust, clean the sensor, do all that. And normally they're insured, so if they damage it, they will pay for it. Not in your case, if you do it yourself, if you damage it, that's your problem. So if they're insured, then they will cover the damage. So honestly, if one day I need to clean again my sensor, I will not bother do it myself. I will bring it to a technician. So I really recommend to do that. Don't try to clean yourself. Some people find it really easy until the day they have a problem. And this day, the 30 euros or $30 it may cost to clean a sensor, then it's so much more expensive to fix the camera than to have paid a technician. So honestly, my recommendation is use a technician. Well, these were my tips, advice for July 2021. I hope you like them. If you feel this video may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The small button down here, also a small bell. If you click on the bell, you get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave your links to other parts of my YouTube channel and links of my gear on Amazon and all the gear I've tested by K&F Concept. I put links also in the description. And if you wish, I'll leave you a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.